Hey gorgeous, Tara Malarkey, founder of High Ticket Empress and Seven Figure Femme. I actually did some stories on this yesterday on my Instagram, and I got so many people responding and commenting back to me saying, I want more information or I want to know how to do this. And I think that it's really important for us to be very clear about this, right? Because sometimes we can like skirt around how to make a business successful, and I'm just going to give it to you straight today. So if you are leaving your business up to how you feel every day, meaning it requires you to feel good, feel motivated, feel inspired, feel creative, feel like writing, right? Feel spacious. If you have to have certain um, circumstances in your body, in your mind, in your heart, in order to do the things you need to do to grow your business, then you're setting yourself up for failure. And it's probably the biggest mistake I see made with early coaches, just starting their coaching business, is they just try to get it off the ground by piecemealing things together and doing, organic stuff. And that's okay to do it in the very beginning. But if you don't get yourself out of that as soon as possible, you're setting yourself up for failure because you're leaving your business up to how you feel. And especially as women, we're emotional creatures and we don't always feel the same. We're not going to always feel like taking action, like doing, like being out there, like being seen, like being visible, like putting an offer out. We're not always going to feel like that. And the sooner that we just realize that and work with our own body constitution, the sooner that we're going to succeed. And so the number one thing I want to impart on you today is that if you don't get yourself into more automated leverage in your business, that it will likely fail. And so the thing that you want to do is, the first thing you want to do is automate the front end of your business, which is the marketing and the sales. So the marketing is the posting and the trying to get clients to see you and to reach out to you. You want to flip that around. You want to have an automated way to get in front of more eyes, and then you want them coming to you. You want inbound leads coming to you, and so that you don't have to actually focus on that anymore. You're not trying to get the machine going every single day and make it work. It's actually a machine that already works and goes and works for you while you're sleeping, while you're with your kids, while you're with your husband, while you're at the gym. The other things you need to do in your life to keep it harmonious, right? You need to have a system that actually takes care of marketing you. Now, I'm not saying you're not going to ever do organic stuff like this because you want to, like an IG post or a Facebook post or a video or whatever. That's awesome. Build relationships, build community. But you want to get yourself out of client lead generation being manual as soon as possible. And so you need a very simple but smart system that goes out, gets in front of more people, and then brings you ideal people. And so in order to do that, though, you also need to know what your offer is. And this is what we see in High Ticket Empress so often. Women coming to us, they're like, okay, I'm ready, I'm a coach, I've been like 10K months, but I don't know how to automate, right? So then you can't scale unless you automate. I actually advocate for you putting all of your expertise into one high-end group program. This is how you create leverage. You become cash flow positive, and you can set up one marketing system that goes out and works for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, when you're sleeping, when you're at church, when you're with your kids, when you're with your family, when you're working out, when you're at the beach, whatever you want, on vacation. It goes and works for you. But you need to know what your high-end offer is at the end for this to work, right? And so the whole idea here, guys, that every business owner really knows if they've been in business and they have a successful business, is that you have to create leverage. Leverage meaning that you have to multiply yourself. That you cannot, if you're in the hours for dollars, if you're trading your time for money, if your business depends on you doing something and you're feeling good and you actually writing a post then it can't survive because there's no leverage. You got to get yourself out of that. You got to automate some of it using technology. And then, of course, the second stage to that is hiring people who can also help you and multiply you so that you're not doing everything in your business, okay? So the first thing you want to do though is become cash flow positive by setting up a system that allows you to scale. You can't actually scale your 10K. When I say scaling, your 10K can't become 20K, can't become 50K, can't become 80K unless you have a system. So the antidote to your business, depending on how you feel, is having a system. If you don't have a system, if it's not if it's not systematic the way that it works day in and day out, then it will likely fail because it's just opened up for too many errors. The final thing I'll say, guys, that happens when you start to systematize and use some technology to automate some of these pieces is that you have data. Data, guys love data, right? But women don't really love looking at the numbers because it's just so masculine and analytical. I don't mind it because I was a banker before, and so I guess my brain got used to it. But it can become very simple. Believe me, we have a lot of super feminine women in high ticket numbers, and I teach them the parts of the data that they need to focus on. Here's the best part about having data that is showing you what's happening in your business is that you know where the problem is. You can actually find the problem, whatever, if there is a problem, you can find out where the problem is and know exactly what you need to fix instead of guessing a million different things it could be. If you don't have data, you don't actually know what the problem is and you don't know what to fix. And so that can actually, you can start fixing the wrong things. And this, it just like totally messes you up. So what I want to impart on you is that women especially need to start understanding how to look at data to run their business instead of running their business on how they feel. A lot of times we can actually catastrophize something. We can see it as a huge problem because somehow it triggers a trauma or a wound in us. We feel unsafe or insecure, or like the whole thing is coming down, right? These are a lot of wounds that we can carry. But if we actually just go and look at the data, things are actually working pretty good, and there might be this one piece that we need to fix, and it's like, oh, we can kind of put it in perspective. But without the data, it seems like an insurmountable problem. So this is the other amazing thing about having, say, a 3-step simple funnel in place where you're using paid advertising, you're using funnel stats, you know how many people are watching your webinar, you know how many people are booking calls, you know what's working and what's not working, and instead of just like figuring it out as you go, you're actually just looking at the numbers. So I just want to I really just want you guys to start taking your business seriously. And if you're at that 6-figure mark, right? If you're at that 8K, 9K, 10K mark sometimes, but it's inconsistent, the only way to scale, guys, is to get out of doing organic stuff, leaving it up to how you feel, your emotional state, right? How inspired and motivated you are, how you feel hormonally, what's going on in your marriage. You have to systematize this, otherwise it will not be consistent and it won't grow and you can't scale. That's the final piece also with the data. The data makes it so that you can scale. You know exactly where you want to spend more on advertising, so that you just you put more in and you get more out. So it becomes, again, like a system, like it's a methodical thing. And so it also, okay, final thing, the system and the data, when we have it, also gives our feminine room to be more creative, to be more wild, to be more unpredictable, to follow her feelings more, because she's now in this safe container of having stability, a foundation, a system that works day in and day out. And I'll just say this, it's kind of like how it would feel if you didn't live in a home. I know for me, I traveled all around the world for a few years, and I would set up homes and for months at a time, but it was pretty much unstable. I didn't really know, it wasn't my home. I didn't know how long I could stay, all these things. And now that I have, I own my own home, and I think about that time, I feel so much safety in my nervous system, the fact that I have the baseline, right? And it's it seems like it should be the baseline that everyone has, but in a coaching business, this is not the baseline. People don't have these things set up. And you need to invest in order to know how to do this, because then you can soar. Then you can be more free creatively, and you can really like nourish yourself. You can honestly take a day off if you want to, because you don't have to manually market. So I would say your feminine in business can't thrive unless you set up systems to take out these pieces that are dependent on how you feel. It can't work like that. So if you need help, please book a call with my team, okay? If you haven't watched our webinar, my masterclass, which explains this at detail, how to craft one high ticket offer, how to put people in mastermind groups where they get better results, and then how to set up just one simple funnel that brings you inbound leads. This changes the whole game and gets you out of launches and gets you out of low ticket. So watch the masterclass, highticketempress.com. And then if you've already seen it and you're kind of like, I know that I need to get out of doing this way, you know, it's kind of like amateur way, right? It's just like the sooner you take it seriously, the sooner you're going to have a lot of prosperity coming to you. The coaching business is grown, like it's amazing. There's so many people out there buying coaching right now. And I want you guys to get this, right? So you can take this seriously and start monetizing at the next level. So I will drop the link, highticketempress.com, and then if you want to book a call, highticketempress.com/call, and we will spend 45 minutes with you, giving you a strategy session on what your high ticket offer is and if we can help you. And honestly, we're very selective on who we bring inside, and we're also going to be really honest with you if we can help you or not. We don't want anyone inside where if you don't have the capability of crafting a high ticket offer. That's a lot of times a big question. People don't know if what they have, it can be turned into a high ticket offer. Most of the time it can, but we will be honest with you. And I'll do a whole nother video on high ticket offers another day. But thank you guys for being here, and put in the comments if this resonated. I'd love to hear from you, and we'll check back later. Bye.